It's been a while, but let's have a fan episode where a fan comes in and talks about the Spurs offseason so far, the team direction, and yeah, what are the fans thinking about Project Marvel mess again? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Spurs In Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. You also got Amazon Podcasts. Pick a platform. We are everywhere. You want to go subscribe ASAP. Also subscribe to the Spurs In Focus Substack. Completely free. Hit subscribe. You become part of the crew. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio, and I thank you for making Spurs In Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Come here daily, every minute, every second, every week. Should be your first and only stop for all things San Antonio Spurs. What are we talking about today? We're going to have a fan episode. So for those of you who have known me for a while, I usually bring in fans for a show where the mic is theirs because we want to catch up on the pulse of the fan base. And with the offseason, it's still kind of a slow period right now. There are some things to talk about, such as what are fans thinking about the Spurs offseason so far? Do they like the acquisitions, Tobias Harris, the draft? What about the direction the team is heading into the new season? We kind of get a vibe of what they're trying to do. And also, Project Marvel, just when you thought we're done with it, right? Yeah, we're not. But fans are definitely, they're beefing on social media. It's crazy. I mean, there's some, well, majority of them are not because they're on one side, anti the mayor and her push for another vote. But what's the fan base right now feeling about that topic? And then a lot more. So we're going to do that in just a few seconds, but we got to bring in our guest who's going to rep the fan base today. He's Mr. Angel Gutierrez. He is on X at GootyFam3. You see it on your screen if you're watching on YouTube. Welcome back, buddy. How you been?
Good, Jeff, man. How about yourself, man?
Doing good. By the way, for those of y'all wondering why no video today, scheduling conflict between myself and Angel. Couldn't get that going, but hey, something's better than nothing, right? And it is the offseason, Angel, right? There's really not much to talk about if you really think about it.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, CollectorCon, man, thanks for the extra ticket. Appreciate it.
Oh, good, man. Glad it worked out. So
it did. I don't think I'll ever go again, though. I don't think I ever go again. Unless you have next time you go with me. I know you had a family emergency, but it's repetitive. I'm telling you right now, Angel, every table was buy, sell, trade card, buy, sell, trade card. That was it. It felt like I was going to a Pokemon, pick a Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever card game you like. That's what it felt like. There was really nothing else. And it was, by the way, it was small. It was the expo hall, which you were right, but that was it. That was it. There was no like, okay, well, come learn a game. If you're a rookie, come learn a card game. Nothing like that. Minimal food too. Minimal food.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Minimal food, minimal interaction. Because
Yeah. It was very I mean, you could have finished it like in 15 minutes. And you said, okay, I've seen it already. And after a while, I started to notice a pattern.
You didn't stick around for the Soulja Boy concert?
No, that's out of my age range, buddy. I don't even know who he is until I got there. Oh, by the way, yeah, there was a lot of merch for him. But all in all, look, it was still a good experience. I mean, I got to see some new things. For those of y'all who don't know, I play Magic, the card game, and I've been years since I've caught up with the rules. But man, I was ready to. If Angel had called me, I already warned him. I said, "Look, Angel, if they're gonna have a playing table, I'm gonna get my butt wrecked because I'm gonna play." I spared myself that embarrassment because there was no tables, Angel.
You can throw it down against a 12-year-old man.
So, they would wreck me. I'll be, yeah, take this. I got 3 mana on my court. I'm gonna bring out this card, and oh, never mind, I'm dead. So moving on. But all right, everybody. Again, fan episode. So yeah, we're just going to dive into it here, man. So, Angel, the offseason technically still undergoing, and the Spurs have, as of this recording, 18 guys on the roster. A couple of roster spots left, but probably just filler guys. Let's talk about the offseason so far. What are fans feeling about the acquisition of Tobias Harris, the draft? You got 4 rookies there: Malik Brown, Gillespie, Reed Jr., and Quaintance. You got those guys, and then also the other acquisition that kind of been flying under the radar. That guy sitting next to Mitch Johnson, that old Thunder guy, that under coach Billy Donovan. Yeah, he is now on the Spurs sideline. What are fans feeling about the offseason so far?
From what I'm seeing, man, fans are pretty stoked about the offseason acquisition.
Mhm.
I mean, from what we can tell, I mean, there was two things that really stuck out was size that hurt them, and then the inexperience of the coaching on there, being in the big spotlight that they were in. Um, so I know fans were like pretty stoked about the Tobias Harris signing because he's a big body, the very capable defender, and he can score, which is what they were needing, in that finals. Um, but also the coaching, with Donovan, great offensive mind, especially when he had his days at, back in Florida. And, he's coached some teams that have been pretty respectable. And then the front line, yeah. I mean, they got some size, man. They got some bullies,
That they
with
do.
some guys, man, to help out with Wemby's. Probably going to be more Reed than Quaintance, with his surgery. So
Yeah, exactly. It is a shame though. Of the 4 rookies they drafted, we're only gonna probably see just one really play. Maybe some minute, like 10 minutes ish here and there. That being Reed Jr. Quaintance, many feel that he might be able to play this upcoming season, perhaps just later on. But Gillespie, he ain't gonna play. That those guards they got in San Antonio, and Louis Brown, same thing. He gonna crack that rotation at that small forward swingman spot. They're gonna allow to burn in Austin, so Austin might have a nice team. But as far as San Antonio, it's gonna be tough for them. Barring any something catastrophic like Fox goes down or Castle goes down, Harper goes to something like crazy have to happen. But did fans feel like the Spurs drafted well overall? I mean, do you think fans would say it was an A+ draft?
I think the fans do say is at least an A draft. I think some fans were probably surprised at the reach of Quinn's because of the injury history. He still hadn't been recovered. He still was recovering from his knee. Um, I think they were very, very supportive of the Reed trading back up, especially with a conference rival with the Nuggets, get back in the first round and draft Reed, who's, good post scorer, rebounder, defender down the block. But, also he was known to shoot. There was some film back in the day of him, I think in high school where, he was shooting from the outside. So that was, he could shock some people. He might be able to, lure his defender out, and then, then you got the second round picks, which, like you said, I think they were great with those picks with Gillespie, of course. I probably if they didn't bring back McLaughlin, they probably would have, kept Gillespie as an emergency point. But I'm sure he'll give him time in Austin, and then Noah Brown. I mean, he's great hands, man. He looks a little slow out there, but man, he can really defend. I've seen him playing Duke, man. It's just, man, the guy's great, man. One of those lanky small forwards, man, or something. If they need to play small ball.
So would you say for the most part the fan base is very happy with the offseason, right?
So far, so good. Yeah, I think they're excited. Plus another year. With this team being together, now they got that experience that the team was being knocked on. They got all the experience of going all the way up to the finals and the way they did. And I think that's going to be the biggest offseason transaction for this team. So,
Let me ask you a question. You take off your host of the fan base hat and you are just a Spurs fan. Do you like that they didn't, make a sexy move? There was that whole Giannis thing. Remember that? Oh, Spurs should go get Giannis. Curry. Spurs should trade for Curry. Do you feel that was the right thing to not make such a major roster move like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like Curry, 5-6 years ago, or Giannis,
for sure,
3-4 years ago, for sure, man. You jump on that, but I think the Spurs, made the right call. I mean, those are great players. Don't get me wrong, future Hall of Famers, but Father Time's catching up, and Curry's getting closer to 40. Here, and then Giannis, as great as he is, man, animal, but he's had injuries, plague seasons. The Spurs would have given up a lot, not only Match's salary, but Milwaukee wanted, talent back, and draft picks and look what they got from Miami. Though, Miami's not, they didn't give great talent like Castle and Harper. They didn't have that type of talent, but they still gave talent away, to get honest.
Mhm.
Now they're
Yeah.
both depleted. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. It could be one of the things where like no major move was the best move for the
yeah.
Spurs this offseason. Because why try to fix something that's not broke? They went to the finals. Sure, it came up short, but they still went to the finals, which is huge. Nobody thought that. I had them going into the last season, like barely maybe sniffing high 40 wins, and here they are 60 something wins, 62. So now
Oh,
you have, yeah.
yeah, I thought playing at least, that would have been, a success, yeah, get Wentz
Yeah.
healthy, so
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
Yeah, that kind of leads into the next topic here. If you put your fan base, postal fan base hat back on, is the direction. So we're kind of hinting at it. The direction is it feels like they, for the most part, are running it back, right? Do you think the fans like the fact that they're running it back? And I bring that up because remember years ago, Angel, what was that funny thing that Spurs fan would say, like, we like the team we have, or what was that? We like the players on the roster. But
Yeah.
it feels like the direction going to the new season is let's just run it back. I mean, the only major acquisition was on the court, Harris, and off the court, it was Billy Donovan. But it feels like they're just pretty much running it back. Do you like that direction?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I think it's the era, like a apples and oranges era that we compare because back then, known as the boring team, not the exciting team, and that mindset of, we like the team that we have, right?
Mhm.
Here it's like it's excitement, man. The players that they have now, I mean, they're box office, man. This team, with the young studs that they got. So I think fans are supporting the fact that the team likes what they have,
Mhm.
exciting, they're building, and they're young and hungry.
Yeah.
And so that's, you put all that together, man, and the fan base would be, you know, totally supportive and excited for that.
Yeah, exactly. I do like the fact they're practically running it back.
Yeah.
You can make an argument they're not, Harris and then the rookies, but as we mentioned, 3 of the 4 rookies probably not gonna get too much burn in San Antonio. Reed probably get the most, and Tobias Harris, well, he's definitely gonna get minutes because, he's earned them for his career, and of course, he fills what the Spurs need. So I do agree with you. I think the direction heading to the new season is right. Just run it back. Don't try to fix what's not broken. But here's the thing, though, with the direction going back to running it back, do you now, Angel Gutierrez, Spurs fan, do you feel that the expectations are just high now? Like, let's just say they go to would you consider a West semifinals or West finals appearance? No NBA finals appearance is a busted season.
After the run they had, odds makers having them the favorites with along with Oklahoma City, you know, pr- I hate to say that, but yeah, I think it would be a failure. I mean, I think they at least have to get to the conference finals at least, and then because unless some surprise thing comes in, it's more like going to be them, the Thunder, in the
Mhm.
finals again. Which, hey, man, I would love. That's going to be a, a building rivalry. They keep going at each other these next few years as long as they
Mhm.
stay healthy, right? So, I would think, yeah, it's going to at least be conference finals or bust. But probably
Mhm.
the players' mind says it's finals again. They want to get back to the finals, so
Yeah.
hold them for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the expectations are super high now.
For
It
sure.
really is. Because if you really think about it, is it really kind of a 3-team-ish race in the West? That's 'cause it feels like it's Spurs, Thunder, and then I guess Denver, but it feels like then a drop off. Then it's Houston, sure. Then it feels like Dallas, maybe Portland, maybe John Morant. Do you feel like maybe the path is easier for that finals run?
Maybe a little bit. You got to remember Minnesota. Now they
Yeah.
got LaMelo. I'm not saying he's you know, going to turn them into a top 2 team there, but
Hmm.
Spurs always have. For some reason, Anthony always loves to go off, and now he's already talking off season that he wants to beat the Spurs. Now, now that's his focus. And then, like you mentioned, Denver. I mean, they still got the Joker and Aaron Gordon if he can stay healthy and Murray, but now they got depth problems now, and they're trying to re-sign that. Was it Peyton Watson, who was their 3-and-D guy.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, yeah, I think the top tier in the West is Thunder and Spurs, and then everybody else, because I don't really even see a third team that really sticks out. Maybe Houston, like you pointed out, if Van Vliet comes back healthy,
Yeah,
and A-Man can get a shot,
yeah,
if he can shoot the ball. Now they got what's that coach that they signed over from the Thunder, England?
yeah.
So we'll see, man.
That's right, England. Yeah, the former Spurs shooting coach.
Yeah.
So we know what he's there for. Help those guys out there. But the point is, it just feels like overall we're going to sum up here. It feels like the fans definitely feel the Spurs offseason has been a success. They feel the direction into the new season is right. Stay the course. No need to shake things up major, like we mentioned, bringing in Giannis or Curry or whoever else was on the block there, and just filling needs. And they needed veteran presence. They got it with Harris, giving Mitch help on that sidelines after we saw Sean Sweeney leave with Billy Donovan. And think about it; it feels like less is more, right? Right there, Angel.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely less is more for this team, because there's not really much changes they needed other than they addressed it with Harris. They did bring Barnes back too, on top of that.
True, yep.
So he can be relied upon, in certain games.
Yeah, and then of course, they extended out Julian Champagny. So there's your long range threat right there. So there it is. It's just running it back. All right, come back, Barnes, come back, McLaughlin, come back, Champagny. So
yeah, for sure. This team really likes each other for sure. So
yeah. The only thing I'm still worried about, and I think we're gonna talk about this as the new season gets closer, is whether or not the Spurs still lack more snipers. Maybe Carter Bryant could turn into that, but he may lose some minutes to Tobias Harris because Tobias Harris is gonna have to eat, and somebody's have to give up some of their food, and could be Carter Bryant.
Bryant or Keldon, maybe. I'm a Keldon stan, man, but
yeah,
he really disappeared in the playoffs after the first
series, man, didn't.
That's where they could have used him, and I don't know, maybe nerves, first time in the playoffs, but can't really use that excuse because look at Devin Vassell, same thing, but
that's true, yeah.
He did well, he did very. There were some games that it wasn't for his play, his savvy veteranship, the shot, who knows, they might have been out of the conference finals for all we know. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So if you can sum it up, what would be the grand total grade for the offseason and the direction heading to the new season from the Spurs fan base?
Man, I would say A+, man, for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with there. Yeah, I think it's for me. It's not an A+. I think it's about an A- around there. But the only reason I brought it up is because I still think they need to maybe just firm up their perimeter shooting. But they got decent shooters. Tobias Harris, I think, doesn't get recognized for that. He hovers a little over 35% for his career.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Champagny is their number one threat outside at the 3 line. So I just feel that maybe they see a little bit more, just one more guy that can do that. We'll see exactly what the Spurs will do this offseason that's still churning. Still just a few more weeks. And then, hey, look, Spurs fans, y'all get maybe a little taste of some NBA-ish action. Victor Wembanyama, he's playing with Team France in a few days, I think. I think it's this week. I'm sorry, Angel.
Yeah, next week.
France.
I think it's next week. I think they just started.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this week.
Victor, don't try to push it too much. I know you love France. I know you want them to wrap it out, but my God, it's already bad enough when we see video of you, Victor, with your knee folding backwards on the soccer pitch. Remember that? Yeah. Don't need that to happen. So just take it easy, Vic. But otherwise, hey, you know what? Angel gave you his opinion. He gave you the pulse of the fan base. But is he right? Is he wrong about those aspects of the topics we're talking about, the offseason, the direction? Spurs fans, this is your episode. Let us know. Let Angel know your thoughts on his takes at GoodyFam3 on X. Let me know on X, as well as Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, more fan episode. And yes, Project Marvel. You thought it was over? Nope. It's continuing. It may be ending by the time you're watching this episode. But we're going to get Angel's thoughts, the post of the fan base thoughts on what is going on with this topic once again right here on Spurs in Focus. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube Music. Pick a platform. We are everywhere. Go do that right now.
As your one and only leader, I order you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus. And all hail Cobra!
Name me a better duo right there. Cobra Commander and Mumra.
Oh man,
That's how. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, Cobra Commander. Every episode ended with retreat. Retreat.
I mean, I'm trying to think of who would be the good pair with Skeletor. But
Megatron. How's that?
okay, yeah, Megatron and Shockwave, or Megatron and Starscream.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Megatron and Shockwave.
Hey, did you ever see that theory about Thundercats and Mumra? And you know what I'm talking about if you're reading my mind right now.
No, what film?
It kind of opens your eyes. Because if you look back and watch the original series back in the 80s, the cats, they were invaders. The cats were the ones that took over territory that belonged to Mumra without, even asking them. They were the ones that planted their flag on a planet that was Mumra's already. And if you really look about the whole entire show, all he's doing is trying to defend his land. That's all he's trying to do. And try to get the cats out. He was like, so the cats were kind of like, what do you call it? Like squatters.
Oh man, you're trying to say that they're practically like the pilgrims to the Indians,
something like that. And then Mumra was actually the innocent one. Like there he is, just sleeping, living a comfortable life, just in the tomb, snuggled up, and then here comes some uninvited guests that say, "Nah, this is our planet now."
Bam, here we are.
And bam, and then the whole episode he's just trying to get them out. Like, by the way, comic book recommendation for you, Angel. And it's awesome. I recommended it to several guests here that are nerds like us. There's an actual crossover comic book. It's called Thundercats and Silverhawks. And it's going to make you look at the Silverhawks differently. Like they're like some Nazi Gestapo crew. It's wild, man. You can read it online, everybody, if you know where to go. And you will not, if you're watching online or read it online, you're not going to want to turn off that tab. But if you go buy it, it's a page turner, man. And let's just say, the cats, they have some great fights against the Hawks, man. You're gonna be like, wow. It's literally called Thundercats versus Silverhawks.
I remember the Silverhawks. I didn't watch them as frequent though, but Thundercats, man, I was for sure, man. I was really.
By the way, at the CollectorCon, there was a vendor that had a real Sword of Omens.
Oh, did they now?
They did, yeah. Those are. I was like, nah, I want to take that, but I don't know I'm going to justify that. Like, why did I just drop $500 on a freaking sword?
You can be all trapped.
The Eye of Thunder, and I'm like, in the Sword of Omens, I should say. All right, we are back, everybody, on this fan episode of Spurs in Focus, where a fan comes in and reps the pulse of the fan base and then gives us his opinion regarding certain topics. Now, we went over the offseason with the Spurs and the direction the team is heading into the new season. Angel says Spurs fans are loving it, but there's something they're not loving. And that is the mayor of San Antonio, Mayor Ortiz Jones, and once again wanting a revote to rethink about the city's contribution towards the funding of the new Spurs downtown arena. Remember, the city's contribution. Her argument is, well, the county residents got to vote on the county contribution. Now it's the city residents should vote on the city contribution. There's some other fine stuff in there, such as, we heard her thing about the poverty in San Antonio, affordability in San Antonio, the usual things that she kind of hammered on the first time she kind of was against it. Let's start off with the post of the fan base. Oh, by the way, real quick, and Angel and I were aware of this, but in case y'all are not aware of this, by the time you're watching this, there's a city council vote. It's a special meeting just about her urging them to put on the upcoming November ballot. The revote of the city contribution was about $489 million. So by the time you're watching this or listening to this, it may be over. If she loses, that's it. That's her last straw. She was said, Angel, we caught this. She said if she does lose today, that she's just going to drop it completely. You probably never hear it out of her mouth again. I doubt that though. But the point is,
politician talk, man.
Yeah, exactly. Politicians, but but if you go on social media, especially on X, I mean, Spurs fans are battling against her. Other council persons that have openly said they're going to side with her. Let's start out with the fan base. I'm assuming the majority of the fan base is against the mayor once again, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very few, if any, are supporting her thought process. I think it's more about the fact that they agree that there's a deficit. They agree that there should be more done for the city of San Antonio. The people already voted for this arena, not the whole Project Marble, just the arena. Can't go back. Don't go back. Then you're pretty much throwing in the voters' faces that their votes don't count or they don't matter. And I don't know, man. It just seems as though everyone's in agreement. She's on this very power trip that she didn't get her way, and she's trying to go a different route and spew what everyone is pretty much in agreement is misinformation to people who didn't want to vote for this or didn't, they said no on the vote, at the back last year. So, I mean, majority of fans, here just they want her out. They want to recall her, that kind of deal. So, yeah, I mean, that's the feeling that from the fans' perspective that, they're all about the Spurs, supporting the Spurs. We were already voted. Why are we doing this game? Why are we wasting taxpayer money? Why are we adding more to the deficit that you are crying about? That's coming. So,
Yeah. Are there any Spurs fans that are actually siding with her?
If they are, I haven't come across them.
Right. Like I never really come across them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows, to be honest. That would be talking out of both sides of their mouth. They're a Spurs fan, but yet you're supporting what the mayor's trying to do here. You can't have it both ways, So at least that's how I see it. But, I think people need to understand that, hey, this is, the vote approval is for the arena only. It's not the whole project. The city vote is more only for the infrastructure, that needs to be surrounding the arena. So, yeah. But to answer your question, I haven't come across any fans that are in support of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, I get what the mayor is trying to do. I understand that, that it's like me. If I go to GameStop, I'm like, oh my God, there's a $500 Batman statue that I want to get for my office, but also got to pay my rent. I got to pay my credit card. I got to pay, a medical bill. Do I really need it? I get that type of vision, but what throws it off for me is the funding sources. The taxpayers are not, the local San Antonio taxpayers are not paying for it. The bulk of the money is from the state, and it's use it or lose it. So, and it's not just San Antonio contributing; it's the Spurs are contributing, and people forget too. The Spurs also pledge millions of dollars to community development outside of the sports district and the arena, and they're going to cover cost overages. And I know she's been talking about like the venue sharing, like revenue sharing. But if you look at the non-binding agreement, let's make that clear. In the non-binding agreement, Angel, there is revenue sharing in the sense of signage. Like the city of San Antonio is allowed to put signage inside the new arena. So that's what throws me off with her. I get where you're coming from, Mayor, but at the same time, nobody's really digging deep into their pockets to get this. Even if the money's not there, guess what? There's still a deficit. Even if the money's not there, guess what? There's still affordability issues in San Antonio. So no matter how you spin it, it's still there, but the money is coming from other sources.
Yeah, I mean, I know she inherited this as the mayor, and I'm not, she can put the blame on prior, mayoralships, but the big stickler, and it's just a trickle down. Now they're feeling the effects is that ever since COVID, it's hurt tourism, and city is trying to lure companies here, and hoteliers come down, build down. We'll give you tax breaks, whatever it is, to get them to come here. And now it's coming up, to bite them now because of
Mhm.
it. But mayor has to realize, though, like you pointed out, I mean, these are state funds that can only be used towards your end. You can't use it towards anything else.
Mhm.
It's that's what she's really, really misleading people, about
Mhm.
we wanted to use this, the Spurs wanted to use it for that. It's like, well, the Spurs can use it for that because that's what it's designed for, per the same.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like as I mentioned before, there is a vote today. It may have ended already, or who knows, maybe it's still ongoing. But the vibe is that city council is not gonna agree with this. She may pick up a couple colleagues that'll agree with her, but she has to get a majority vote. I don't think the majority vote happens. Well, we'll see though if she does drop it, as she says. She's gonna drop it if she loses today. And for those that are wondering as well, this will be the last straw for her. There's no other avenues to chase a revote or reconsider or let's rethink this. That's it. It's over today. So likely she's gonna lose, and likely this might be the last time we see her say anything about it. For now, right? Right,
Yeah,
Angel. For now.
for now,
For now.
we'll see
Well,
later.
well, yeah, we'll see what other like. Oh, under the bylaw of this
Yeah,
bylaw and this constitution, and you'll figure something out. But hey, you know what? Yeah, we'll see what exactly happens today at City Hall. All right. Angel, I know I got you on the hook for a few more minutes here. So just one quick Spurs news item here, and I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think about Victor playing with Team France? We kind of alluded to it a little while ago. But just you as a fan and Spurs fans, are Spurs fans okay with him? Because he starts playing next week in a tournament that's out on France.
man. Anytime you get a chance to play and represent for your country, you can't fault a player for wanting to do that. That's the way Manu thought process was. For Argentina, and fans were all aboard. But of course, I think he also hurt himself. He hurt his ankle in one of those summer games to where in the season later, right? So I can understand Spurs fans him not wanting to play, and I'm sure the Spurs community in France say, hey, yeah, let him play, but
Take it easy.
yeah, exactly. Minimize, watch the minutes. You need Mitch to go out there to monitor whatever it is.
So I'm pretty sure they got him out there. I am pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure the probably for qualifying games they might minimize it. He might play here and there, and then did they make it all the way to the final? Then I'm sure he'll play then. So, but Victor, for being as young as he is, man, he knows his body well enough, So
He does.
he's going to monitor himself. But at the same time, he's very competitive. He has that hunger, that itch, man. That he'd rather be playing every game. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, it's going to start putting the bow on this episode, or fan episodes, I should say, of Spurs in Focus. Those are our thoughts on several topics this offseason. The offseason moves, the direction the team is going on, and obviously Project Marvel, and of course, Wemby playing for Team France in just a few days. So let us know what y'all think regarding Angel's thoughts, his opinions, because he's speaking for y'all right now. He's speaking for the entire fan base. Let him know what y'all think about what he has to say. Make sure to let him know that on X at GoodyFam3. And Angel, again, thank you for taking time out to rep the Spurs fan base today, buddy.
All right, Jeff. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. Yes, and as always, you got an open door here, man. Whatever you want to come back, just let me know. That is Angel Gutierrez. Again, he is on X at GoodyFam3. See it on your screen. You can watch it on YouTube. Everybody else, we thank you all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to follow us on YouTube Music, iTunes, Spotify, pick a platform, Amazon Podcasts. We are everywhere. The Substack is completely free. Go sign up today. Spurs in Focus Substack. Click subscribe. You are in, and it's free. Once again, it is completely free. Go do that right now. As always, I thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. We'll be back on Wednesday. As I believe we have James Pledger of San Antonio Sports Star. He is on deck, and he may come at for me for my take on the casting of Rogue. So, he called me to tell me to get off the ledge. Again, I want to make it very clear. I'm going to make it very clear to Pledger this Wednesday. I'm not going after her for her acting ability. I'm saying the casting, in my opinion, could have been better. I wanted somebody taller and like athletic. That's what I wanted.
Give him hell, pleasure.
Supposedly, like she's like real tiny, man. Like she might go up to like your belly button. Like she's just real super petite.
Well, camera angles, man. They're gonna make it look bigger.
Hey, they made Elijah Wood look like a hobbit, so I'm pretty sure they could do this. But no. Again, I was not going after saying no to her because we're acting. I know she's a good actor. I'm just saying, I think the casting could have been a lot better. But she's gonna get on me this Wednesday, everybody. So stay tuned for that. Again, so Wednesday it is. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcast. So for Mr. Angel Gutierrez, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you are in focus with Spurs in Focus.